Hi, here is an introduction on box and whisker plots. So, a box and whisker plot is a way to display data and a way to organize data into quartiles. So, quartile um, comes from the word quarter, right? So, I'll write the word quartile for you. And it's like the word quart. And a quart is 1/4 of a gallon, and a quarter is 1/4 of a dollar. So, quart means a fourth. So if we're making it into quartiles, we're breaking it up into four equal parts. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the data and we're going to break it up into four equal parts, and so that we can analyze the data and display it. So we kind of see um, what's the greater half, what's the lesser half, what's the the greatest quarter, the least quarter. So we can kind of analyze the way the data fits, and it helps us make predictions and helps us to talk about the data. So let's look at this example with Helen and her fish. So Helen wants to display the data of the lengths of 15 fish she caught this year to compare to the lengths of the fish she caught last year. So she's going to take, so she just has right now a chart or a table just full of fish lengths. And that's a lot to look at, these 15 numbers. I mean, it's kind of, I see a 7 in here, I see a 22. It's not organized, and it's not a really great way to display data. So she decides she's going to put it in a graph, and you could make like a line plot as a graph or a histogram as a graph. There's all different kinds of graphs, but she decides she wants to put it in a box and whisker plot. So this is just a different kind of graph. So in order to do that, in order to make a box and whisker plot, step one, here's your first step. Step one is to put the data values in order from least to greatest. So I'm going to take the data values out of the table and I'm going to list them in order for least to greatest. So I would pause now and do that. So go ahead and do that now on your own. Okay, so you can see that I didn't space my numbers really well, and I end up having it right over top of the chart. So I'm sorry about that, but hopefully yours are nice and neat. Once I get done writing, as I was writing the numbers down, I put dots in the boxes rather than slashing the numbers out because I didn't want to scribble them out and not be able to read them, although I did write right over them. I put little dots in the boxes to keep track of the ones I already used. And then the next way I'm going to check my work is I'm going to go through and make sure I have 15 pieces of data. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, good, 15. All right, so when I counted them, I counted 15. You notice I went, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And the reason why I did that was because I know that if there are 15 numbers in order from least to greatest, then the middle number would have to be the eighth one. And I know that because 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So because that's 7.5, that means that 7 numbers will be on this side here, and 7 numbers on this side here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 7 over here, and then this eighth number is in the middle. Now we know we call the middle the median, and we've now found the median. So here is the median of our data, which is one of the things that we do when we put in order from least to greatest. Well, in our box and whisker plot, the median plays a really important role. It's the middle of the graph. So step 2 was to find the median, and I did. So the median is going to be the Q2, and you'll see that when you make the graph, it'll make more sense. But right now, so if you look, I'm going to have a minimum and a maximum and a Q1 and a Q3 and Q2, and see how Q2 is in the middle of those 5 things. The next thing I'm going to do, it says find the median of the lower upper. So now I have my data, and it's broken up into 2 parts. It's broken up in the things that are less than the median and the things that are greater than the median. And you say, well, 13 and 13 aren't greater or less than. I know, but the other numbers they're with are actually greater, and the other numbers are less. So that's why. So the green things here are the numbers that are less than the median. And that's going to be the lower data, lower meaning less. Okay, so I'm going to do this again. I'm going to find the median again, but I'm going to find the median of this data. So we said there were 7 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 divided by 2, if I split 7 in half, that'd be 3.5, right? So it should be 1, 2, 3 numbers on the left and 1, 2, 3 numbers on the right, and my middle number would be 10. So the median of the lower half, so I just found the median again, but of the lower half is 10. Then I'm going to find the median of the upper half. Same idea. There's 7 numbers. There should be the same number of numbers on the right as on the left. Always. Okay, so there's 7 numbers again, so I'm going to count 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So 3 from this end and 3 from this end, and I get 15 as the middle. So 15 is the median of the upper data. Upper meaning the greater, the ones that are bigger than the median. And see how 15, now here's how I know I'm doing this right. My numbers should be in order from least to greatest. 10, 13, 15. If your Q1 is bigger than your median, you're not doing it right. Okay, it's just so you know. All right, so we got that. So we have the medians, and now we need the minimum and the maximum, because that's going to be our other numbers here. So the minimum is 7, and the maximum is 22. Now, so the steps that you're given on this paper are to find these things. To me, if I was going to, does it matter what order you do them in? That's what I'm trying to say. I usually find the minimum maximum first because they're the easiest, and then find the median. But you do have to find the median before you can find the Q1 and the Q2 and the Q3, because you need the median to know what numbers to have. But whether you find the minimum maximum first or last, that doesn't matter. Okay, so there. What do I have now? I have 5 numbers. This is called my 5-number summary. So I have 5 numbers. I have the smallest piece of data, I have the greatest piece of data, and then I have the 3 quartiles in the middle. So this is the lower end of the data. The median would be 10, and this is the upper end of the data, and the median would be 15. So that 5-number summary is going to be used to create my box and whisker plot. So once I have that, everything gets to be a lot easier now. So I'll show you what we do next. Making sure it doesn't go away. Good. Okay. So I'm going to take these numbers and I'll use the thing. I'm going to put the minimum and maximum on my, so I create a number line. I need a number line with numbers on it. And so I'm going to put my minimum, and I'm going to use dashes. So I'm going to put my minimum is 7, so I put a dash there for my minimum. My maximum is 22, and I put a dash for my 22. This is so easy. Now watch. Next, I'm going to put in my quartile 1. Notice how it's, well, you'll see these numbers line right up on the number line. And then I'm going to put in my median, and I put a dash there. And then I put in my upper quartile, or my Q3. Okay, so I have my dashes. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a box around. We're going to create this and make this into like a rectangle. So I'm going to close up this rectangle. So inside the rectangle, I should have a line, and that line is the median. This box here shows 50% of my data. So 50% of my data, 50% of the fish lengths were between 10 and 15. So half of them were between 10 inches and 15 inches. The other half were either less than 10 or they were more than 15. So I'm going to extend lines. So the box plot here, so the box is the thing that I drew with the quartiles when I connected them. The whiskers are what go out to the minimum and maximum. That's why it's called a box and whisker plot. So my whiskers, so these all show 25%. So what this is saying is 25% of the fish lengths are between 7 and 10. Another 25% of them are between 10 and 13. Another 25% are between 13 and 15, and that's our closest cluster. So when we're looking at our quartiles, the numbers that are closest together are the numbers that are greater than the median, but less than the quartile. So 25% of our numbers are between 13 and 15. So that's our closest cluster. If we had a dot plot, those are the dots that would be like the tallest on the dot plot. Then 25% is out here, and this is the most spread out. The most spread out is the upper end between 15 and 22. So it's saying that's the least consistent. So that's what a box and whisker plot is. The only other thing we might want to do is find the IQR. The IQR is the upper quartile, or the Q3, minus the Q1. And what it tells me is what's the range of the numbers inside the box. So this IQR is the interquartile range. So it's essentially finding the range of the box. So I would do 15 minus 10. So that means inside the box, that's a 5 inches of range. So 50% of the data are only 5 inches apart. So that's a box and whisker plot. So there's a lot of analyzing that can go on, but for now, don't worry about analyzing it too much. Just worry about being able to construct it. So step 1, put your numbers in order from least to greatest. Step 2, find the median. Once you find the median, you break your data up in half. So then you just got to find the median 2 more times. Find the median of the lower data, find the median of the upper data. Then you'll have the minimum maximum. You'll have 5 numbers. Those 5 numbers become dashes on your number line. Connect the Q1 and the Q3 together to make a box and extend your whiskers. And that's it. Thanks.